to the Guitar Dads Podcast, a podcast for guitar dads by guitar dads. This week, one hailstorm artist takes a voyage with a new signature axe. Another builder travels to a galaxy far, far away. And Maneater, one half of this duo, says, your lawsuit is on my list, and IRs are boss. But is it the real deal? This week on the Guitar Dads Podcast. Now, the dudes who don't simulate anything, Matt and Dave.
Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave. And welcome to the podcast. It's like it's like a Masterpiece Theater kind of intro. And
Yeah.
Calm and jeez.
Yeah, it's a little bit more calm as usual. Yeah. I don't know what
Very
happened.
scaled back. I don't know what happened.
We don't, I think we somewhat simulate a podcast though, Dave.
Somewhat?
I think we somewhat do.
Completely.
We completely simulate a podcast. So
anyway,
here we are.
What we don't simulate is our appreciation for you, the listener. Thank you guys for coming back every week. And if you're new, thanks for checking us out. Come back next week. We hope to give you some good content. And you guys know where you can find us at Guitar Dads Podcast on Instagram and at Guitar Dads Podcast. Come find our group on Facebook and join all the fun over there. And of course, if you want to support the show, go over to patreon.com/Guitar Dads Podcast, and a multitude of tiers for you to check out if you care to support us. We really appreciate it. It does keep the show going. It helps us bring great content to you. So we do appreciate all you patrons. Please, if you're interested, go over there and check it out. And if you so choose not to, if you're not in a position where you do want to financially support the show, we understand. Just go over to at Guitar Dads Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. Come join the group. It's free. Go over to Instagram. It's free. That really helps the show out as well. And we love seeing you guys. So I think that's it. Did I cover everything?
I think so.
Is this going to be like a Masterpiece Theater like show tonight?
Did
I just set the bar really low?
Welcome to Masterpiece Theater. No, it's all good, man. Here we are.
Here we are. We are here. All right. Well, what do you got? Anything new going on in your life?
I think we got some cool stuff happening. We're getting into the Dataverse. Do you want to get into the Dataverse or no?
Yeah, let's get into the Dataverse.
Hold on.
Jeez,
Waiting.
You do this every week. Why don't you leave me in charge?
Waiting.
I want my rocket ship to leave. What's waiting? All right, we're not waiting anymore. We're getting right into
work. The rocket ship doesn't want to work this week, bro.
Well, we'll call Elon.
All right. What the hell's up with the rocket ship today? All right, well,
what's going on with the rocket ship?
Listen, you have to.
We're having problems with Riverside. We're having problems with Riverside these last few weeks.
Come on, Riverside. Come on, bro. Yeah, it doesn't want to work.
It doesn't want to work. We've had our issues, but that's okay. We move on. We're pros. So news dropped. Let's keep going. Some news dropped last week, but we were thrilled to have our guest Taylor Hughes. Go check her out. Taylor Hughes Music, country artist, singer songwriter out of Nashville. She was back on the show last week, so we didn't get to some of this news that we wanted to mention. So let's get into it. The shows have already taken place, but the drama still goes on. Ace Frehley says he never received a phone call from Kiss before their final shows at Madison Square Garden last week. Now, of course, we put final in quotes because we know Kiss.
We do.
But they did so first of all, what a shame. I mean, seriously, if that's going to be their last shows and they didn't bring Ace out, because of money.
Yep.
Give me a
They're
break.
Done.
What an abomination.
It's such a BS thing. It really is. It is an abomination. I agree.
But they did introduce this new Avatar Kiss BS.
Yes, they did.
If you want to call it like virtual Kiss, I don't know what they're going to end up calling it, but are they going to essentially like quote unquote tour with these stupid avatars?
Yeah.
Gene will do anything for money.
Yeah, they're going to be retired, and they're going to like they would like the hologram kind of stuff they did when like people die, except they want to do it when they're not dead.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely absurd.
I mean,
I know,
that's the way it is.
I know Gene loves his money and everything, but come on, man. This is like, and you know what?
Yes, he does.
Kiss fans are going to go for this.
Of course, Kiss fans love it. They don't care.
Of course they don't care. No, but anyway, I honestly don't believe this is the last we've heard from Kiss. Not that we're huge Kiss fans, but in general, I don't believe that this is the last tour they're going to do, because Gene loves the green and he is not going to stop until he's dead. I think if anybody in the music world is destined and wants to die on stage, it's Gene Simmons.
No, totally. But he doesn't. He wants to. I don't think he wants to do it anymore. I think he does want to like just stop, retire from touring, and have the holograms do it. Right.
Well, and my take on that is it's not going to be that successful, and they're going to see this and they're going to tour again.
They're going to have to go back on tour. Yeah, maybe
they're going to go back on tour. They're going to they're going to market it as some kind of like, back from the grave, kind of like back from technology. I don't know. Whatever.
But they're not dead.
But they're not dead. I know. But they want to pretend like they are. I don't know. Anyway. So that's the Kiss stuff.
But let's just be clear. Like, they did come out and say that these like kind of hologram things are going to be used for future virtual live shows, whatever that means. So
yeah, which is basically like, and then you're going to have to pay to stream this stuff. Are Kiss fans going to do that? I mean, yeah, I'm sure they will, but
I don't know. Yeah, don't know. You'd be surprised at how crazy the Kiss fans are. So,
I mean, it depends on pricing, right? Like if you're like just sitting around on a Friday night and you want to watch a show, because you and I like to do that sometimes, just pull up like some live music on YouTube and blast it on TV. Yeah, and it'd be cool, but it depends on the price. Knowing Kiss, it's going to be ridiculous.
It's just so here's a headline: Kiss reveals will continue to perform as virtual avatars. Like what the? Yeah.
Only Kiss.
Like what the hell world are we living in right now?
I only want to see the real deal. I'm not into this whole Avatar thing, but anyway, we digress.
I know. I'd rather watch the movie Avatar. Oh, by the way,
I know.
Maybe I'm easily amused, but I really thought that
no, you're not. Because you don't laugh at any of my jokes.
Oh well, I don't know. I'm easily amused by movies, but I thought that Avatar: Way of the Water was a pretty cool movie. That was a cool movie.
I didn't check it out yet. I have not checked it out yet.
I thought it was cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm like an idiot. Maybe I am.
But if you're not a Instagram or Facebook fan of ours, go follow us, because you can check out our what was the meme we did? What's the name of the movie?
It's called The Way of Water or something.
The Way of Water, and we did The Way of Sweetwater.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go check it out.
Rhett Shull's in it. He's starring.
I do have to watch it, because I did like the first Avatar. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, did it totally flop? I think it totally flopped, basically. But it was I thought it kind of did, but it was awesome. I loved it. So,
did it flop? But I'm like a Gene Simmons Avatar.
But I'm like a water person, so like I think it's cool. So
okay,
anyway, that's where we're at.
Well, anyway,
all right.
Can I just tell you?
Moving on. Yeah.
This is the complete like unrelated anything, and I don't usually bring this kind of stuff up on the show, but now that I got some of these cameras outside my house and I'm getting the notifications because we put that stupid blow up Christmas thing on the lawn.
Oh, that's
my camera just goes off constantly. It's like motion detected, motion detected.
You have to like remove the camera. Yeah.
Or the thing.
Or the thing. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, man.
Yeah. Come on.
So good.
All right. Anyway, another thing that happened recently is, for those Green Day fans out there, Dookie, this is actually shocking to me when I read the number. I mean, everything shocks me these days because it makes me realize how old we are. But yeah. Dookie turned 30? Yep. Holy crap.
Yep.
Because I remember when that came out, and I was a Green Day fan. I really dug Green Day.
Everybody was,
man.
I still everybody do, was. So Dave, do you remember? I wasn't there. Were you there for the legendary concert that happened in the Boston Hat Shell that Green Day?
No, I was not. I knew you were going to bring this up. No.
Okay, so let's talk about this for the listeners that may not have known. So Green Day came to Boston. it was right after Dookie came out, so it was when it so 94. So obviously it came out in 93. So, but it was, it was 93. Sorry. It was 93. It was the fall of 93.
Fall of 93. Yep.
So it was towards the end of 93, the fall of 93. And Green Day played this free concert at the Boston Hatchell. If you guys know what that is, it's like a very famous, like public venue that's on the Charles River in Boston. Anyway, kind of like in a park.
It's like where the July 4th, where the pops play and the fireworks go off and all that thing. And if you've seen it on TV,
there's a massive.
That's the Hatch Shell.
Yeah. That's right. There's a massive 4th of July celebration there every year. Anyway, they played this free concert there, and it was like absolute freaking chaos. Like Dave and I had classmates, like friends that went. One of them broke his leg in like a mosh pit or something. All kinds of other injuries. It was just like, they went. Everybody was so pumped to see them that they went like freaking berserk. And like all hell broke loose at this. It was so bad. It was essentially like a riot. And I think it's like the last rock concert they've ever had at the Hatchell.
It was essentially the last concert that they ever hosted there, other than the July 4th stuff. It's really the only music that ever plays there. So, that was definitely epic. And I remember that.
That's pretty epic. I do kind of regret that I wasn't there, but maybe I don't regret it because I didn't break my leg, so that's okay. But
not everybody broke their legs.
No, but the fact that one person did, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It really
like,
is.
You don't go to a concert and break your leg. Like, that's not like a normal thing. Skiing, maybe,
maybe
other dangerous things, maybe. But like, oh, what did you do? I went to a concert. What happened? I broke my leg. So anyway, so Dookie turns 30. That's right. Amazing.
Dookie turns 30,
Iconic
and it sparked a little debate in the group, because this is like the never-ending debate with.
Oh yeah, because you called it grunge.
Well, no. As I posted, one of the most iconic albums in the grunge era, because it was the grunge era.
Well, that's true.
And people,
You're right about that.
And people took off with that and started bashing me in the comments.
They did. However, they said, it's not grunge.
It is a debate that does exist on the interwebs. And it is a debate that's gone on for a long time. No, it absolutely has. Is it grunge? Is it punk? Or is it grunge punk? And that has been a debate for a long time.
No, it's what I would call pop punk.
Punk.
But actually, let's think about that.
I would call it grunge punk because they were very different than the average punk band, right? And certainly not a pop band.
Yeah, pop punk didn't really come out until much later, like later 90s, early 2000s.
Well, give me another example of a pop punk band then, and we'll compare.
The biggest pop punk band ever is Blink-182.
Okay, but give me another example though. Because you can't have a whole genre with just two bands, right?
See, pop punk's not my thing, but they're like after Blink-182 got big. After Blink-182 got big, there was all kinds of other bands that came out around it. Like I feel like Fall Out Boy is kind of pop punk, right?
They're pop. Yeah, I guess. I would say they're more like pop rock. I don't know. I think that we talked about this. We talked about this months ago. Go back and listen to the Yacht Rock episode because we talked about is it never ending with these genres, these like subgenres that get spawned from different things. And I believe I would almost categorize Green Day as like a grunge punk band, not just because of the era that they became big in, they hit it big in, but because of their type of music. Because it doesn't totally fit punk. It does and it doesn't, and it certainly doesn't fit grunge. But it was
Sum
kind
41.
Of like,
sorry, I'm just trying
to think. Sum 41's another good example. That's a good example.
Pop punk band. Okay, let me type punk band. This will actually be fun. Well, let me type it into Google.
You're gonna type in pop punk, and you're gonna come up.
All right, so okay, the top three that come up are.
I was just gonna say, give me a list.
Blink-182, Green Day, All Time Low. Remember All Time Low? Newfound Glory, Fall Out Boy. I said that. Paramore.
Congratulations. Paramore? No.
This is just according to this Google search. Jimmy Eat World. Maybe.
Oh, well, go. Oh, Jimmy Eat World. I forgot about them. Yeah, they were actually pretty good.
Some 41.
Some 41.
And then The Offspring. Is The Offspring pop
punk? I was going to mention The Offspring. They're another one of those.
Good Charlotte. Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte, yeah.
Big
but The
pop
Offspring
punk band.
The Offspring, I don't know if you call them pop punk, but all you have to do is type in "is Green Day a punk band" into Google, and you're going to see tons of debates, whether it's on Reddit or Facebook or anywhere else. And I kind of did another dive into this when I brought that up. It's one of those like, fun, stupid fun like music debates. Like what genre did they really fall in? It is a stupid fun.
Yeah, Yellow Card, right?
Yellow Card.
I remember Yellow Card. Them. Yeah, so Good Charlotte, I said. The All American Rejects, bro.
Okay.
They're pop punk all day long. Pop punk? Yeah, all day long they are.
Pop punk? They're not punk.
What about My Chemical Romance? Are they pop punk?
Hold on. Let's go back to the All American Rejects. They are not punk, and they're also not good, but they're not punk.
I don't know. A lot of people love them. Yeah, you're right. This is kind of a ridiculous list I'm looking at here. Yeah, My Chemical Romance, I wouldn't call pop punk. What about Panic at the Disco? But Panic with the exclamation point at the disco.
Wait, it's not Panic at the Disco. It's Panic
at the
disco. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with their music. Are they a pop punk band? I don't
even know what you would call. See, this goes back to the whole genre debate, and this is annoying. This is
a ridiculous debate. Anyway, but you could argue Green Day kind of invented that like very accessible kind of punkish sound. They
probably did. Well,
they kind of did.
I would say you're talking more like, Jesus, are you forgetting about bands like, The Clash, The Cure, and those bands?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
The Ramones?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I would call that more like punk stuff, less pop punk. I would call that more on the punk side. Like, especially the Ramones, like they were pretty punk, right? And then Green Day kind of like made a little more melodic, a little, you know what I mean? Like, kind of pop punk, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on how you define it.
This isn't my genre, so
no.
Yeah,
and it's very, it moves, it changes. So let's move on.
Let's move on.
So did you hear about there is a massive fight going on in a legendary group?
Yes,
Hall and Oates is embroiled. Hall and Oates are embroiled in a legal battle right now over like their empire, essentially.
Yes. True.
And Daryl Hall has sued John Oates, and also he filed a restraining order against him before Thanksgiving because of this stuff. So why don't you tell everybody about what's going on? Because it's kind of a big deal.
Okay. I guess I can talk about.
Well, basically, Daryl Hall is accusing John Oates of like trying to sell, parts of their catalog, the name and likeness, all this kinds of stuff.
That's right. So that's exactly what it is. It's Daryl Hall has said, quote, he is accusing Oates of, quote, the ultimate partnership betrayal, by trying to sell his share of the whole thing, the whole duo's venture without his permission. So he actually filed a lawsuit against him. And what happened is a judge actually said, okay, we're going to, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the sale of, Oates's share of the enterprise. And guess what the enterprise is called? Whole Oats Enterprises LLP. Did they get Wilford Brimley to promote this?
Is it Quick Oats or is it,
yeah.
Is it Overnight Oats?
Is it Overnight Oats? Like, what's going on?
Oh man.
So that's
you can turn us off now if you want.
So that's what the restraining order is, Dave. I don't think there's like a physical restraining order.
No, there's not a physical restraining order. It's to prevent the sale of. Yeah. I did. Although I did not post that meme. That was a funny one that I put. I might actually put that out. Of the MMA, with Daryl Hall and John Oates fighting. But anyway, yeah. So it's interesting because we haven't seen this before. That a lot of artists are trying to cash in right now, and here you have a duo, and we don't know what's in their contracts. Who knows what's going to come of this? But does John Oates have a right to sell his half? How much does he own? And does he have a right to sell whatever percentage he owns? I don't know.
No, well, according to Daryl Hall, no. But this gets juicy. Not. This gets juicy. Hall accused Oates. I'm quoting from an AP article here. Hall accused Oates of becoming adversarial and aggressive instead of professional and courteous towards him in the last several years. As part of a proposed global divorce, Hall said he was entertaining Oates' idea to dissolve their touring entity and a separate partnership related to their musical compositions and publishings, while Hall raised the idea of dissolving whole Oates Enterprises. So this is messy because it sounds like there was some discussion that they would do this.
Yep.
Like as part of a proposed global divorce. This is Hall's side of the story now that I'm reading.
Right.
So it's really interesting.
Three sides to every story.
Really sad. It's sad that we saw it with Motley Crue, and we're seeing it now with like the greatest duo ever, like in pop music, Hall and Oates. I mean, this is unbelievable.
I mean, they really are icons. It's really a messy split going on here, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because, obviously, they're just John Oates is just trying to follow suit. Here I am. Never mind. Getting my words confused here. He's just kind of following other artists in cashing in right now. He's what are they in their mid 70s right now?
Yeah, they are. They are.
And they're not creating any new music. So what a time to cash out. What I don't understand is why wouldn't Daryl Hall want to do this?
Agreed.
There's some money to be made here.
Of course. I mean, look, Daryl Hall does not want to, he wants, I'm sure what it is with Hall is it's the control. He owns half of it, and he believes that he should have, a say in how much they get and all this stuff. And he probably doesn't want to sell it. That's probably the biggest thing, is he probably is not on the side of selling it, or he has plans to sell it on his own under his own kind of circumstances.
Yeah, see, that's
his own demands, right? So
that's where it gets messy.
That's where it's messy. That's where it's messy.
And I'm not on that. I'm not kind of in that camp where I feel like he's going to kind of undermine John Oates and kind of sell it or whatever he wants, have control over how the sale goes. I really think I think he's more of, a traditionalist in a way, if that's the right term, that I don't know if he wants to sell this thing because it's that machine was so powerful back in the day and still is, and so iconic. I don't know. I mean, does Daryl feel like he just wants to hold on to this? Why would he want to give this up?
Yeah.
So maybe that's how
I
he
would
feels.
guess that's what's behind it. But, Daryl Hall is what? He's like 77 years old or something. He looks pretty good for 77 years old.
Yeah, they both look great.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, and they can still sing.
But Daryl's still doing the live at Daryl's house, even though it's on YouTube. He's still doing that. So maybe he wants. I don't know. Maybe he still has ideas of inventors in his mind that he wants to do with this thing.
Yeah, or he feels like his music is going to get, like, as he does that show, and his music is more valuable than Hall wants to sell it for. I mean, than Oates wants to sell it for. I mean, who knows? It could be all kinds of stuff, but obviously, this is a pretty heavy kind of a rift here between them. And
it's kind of a big deal. It's a very big deal in the music world because of the what these two have meant to music, and how long how long they've been together. I mean, they're well over 50 years, right? They're in their mid 70s, so not 60, but they maybe close to it, right? I mean, when did Hall and Oates start making music together?
Oh, like 70. They were signed in 72.
Okay, so yeah, we're going on a very long time here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting little tidbit in the article I'm reading. So Oates wanted to sell his share to Primary Wave, is the company he was selling it to, whoever they are. Probably one of these companies that we've discussed that like have like companies that are specifically created for to buy up rights, but specifically created by venture capital and private equity firms to buy up catalogs of music as a business. And so it says here that Primary Wave has already owned significant interest in Hall & Oates song catalog for more than 15 years. So,
interesting.
So
what percentage?
It doesn't say. It just says, quotes, significant interest. So obviously it's not a public
significant
thing.
Could mean like, 12%.
20%. No, I agree. But it's interesting. Like they've already sold pieces of it off. And now Oates is like, let's do it. And Daryl Hall's like, not so fast. So it's an interesting little, thing going on here. But here we go. That's where it goes.
Well, anyway, let's move on because we have a lot of gear to get to in a little bit. But so stick with the show. Yeah, we got lots of gear to talk to, and we're going to bring a lot of that to the Patreon. We're going to do a little something different in our bands you should be listening to segment. We do have a listener. His name is Mike, and I hope I'm saying this correctly. I apologize if I'm not. Mike Vandersaden.
That sounds right.
Saying that right?
Yeah,
but it might sound right.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
He had reached out to us and kind of offered up some of his music with his band. And again, if I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Ceres. It's Ceres. Go check them out at Ceres Music.
Yeah.
On Instagram. They're a metalcore band. Great musicianship. I thought I didn't listen to a ton of it yet, but I haven't had a chance to dive in. But really digging the guitars.
Oh yeah, the guitars sound great. And he's a guitarist, and our listener here, Mike, is a guitarist in the band. So shout out to Mike. Check out this band. Dave and I, you guys probably know, aren't metalcore people, but we still respect what's going on, and it is cool.
Oh yeah, we totally appreciate it.
We appreciate it and respect it. Yeah.
I'm a little bit more into it than Matt is.
That's true.
But definitely go check these guys out. Ceres at Ceres Music. On Instagram, and then you can kind of go from there and find them wherever you stream your music.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, check them out. We like to spread the, Dave and I realized like maybe we should shout out bands from other genres and not just bands that we like, but other genres that other people might like.
Yeah.
And we came across Mike, and we said, you know what, why don't we'll do that for you. So go check them out, guys. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe one day we can get them on.
From country last week to metalcore this week.
Metalcore this week. Maybe we can get them on the show at some point.
Yeah.
And also, if you are a listener and you have a band you want us to shout out, let us know. Come on to Facebook at Guitar Dads Podcast and let us know what's going on.
We will listen to it. We will listen to it. We will critique it live on the air. And we'll decide if we like it or not. No, just kidding. If you send it in, and we'll check it out, and we'll say like, here you go, like, guys, this is a cool band, you guys should check it out.
Go check it out.
So
hey, how are the sound effects? Are they working? Because we're about to go into the dad joke segment of the week.
They seem to be working tonight. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Don't know what's going on.
See if you can. Do you see him, Dave?
Oh yeah. Let's see.
I wonder if I can't do them, but you can do them.
Yeah, mine's kind of dragging too. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, mine's dragging.
I'm gonna try to do.
Come on, bro.
We're gonna try to go into the dad joke segment of the week. Yeah, mine aren't working either.
I don't know what is happening.
But anyway.
All right. Anyway, so we'll do without the sound effects for this week, everybody. We'll get it fixed.
Sound effects this week.
We'll get it fixed for next week. But let's get into the dad joke. I'll do the intro though. It's the dad joke of the week.
There you go. So, hey, Matt, I burned 2,000 calories today.
Oh.
Yeah, so I left my food in the oven too long.
What were you cooking, like a pie or something?
Yeah, exactly. Like a $5 pumpkin pie from Costco.
Like a pumpkin Costco pie. Ooh, I love that.
Sounds so good.
Sounds delicious.
Listen, don't knock Costco desserts, okay? You're doing
doing
Costco a disservice over here.
I don't knock Costco anything. I think it's delicious. I'm there all day for the $1.50 or whatever it is hot dog. I think it's fantastic, and you get a drink that comes with it.
It's a great deal.
The pizza is not the greatest pizza in the world, but it's pretty good. And it's kind of chunky.
Cheap.
So like when you're kind of hungry and you want like $1 slice of pizza or whatever it is, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So There you go.
Hey, so speaking of listeners, our listener mailbag this is from a couple weeks ago again, because we had a guest on last week.
Yeah.
This is from Thomas Adelgren. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Tom had asked about single pickup guitars. They're the best thing since sliced bread, and that's all you need. Do you agree?
So I know that. So, shout out to Black Cat Guitars who did the pickups in my telly. He is a big single pickup guitar guy, and he does he kind of specializes in P90s and stuff like that you would put in a single pickup guitar. I guess you could put anything in a single pickup guitar, but yes, they are cool. I own one. I own a a Les Paul Junior Studio double cut. You can kind of see it back there behind me a little bit, and if you're listening, not really. I mean, if you're watching, not listening. If you're listening, you can't see shit. If you're watching,
you can't see it at all.
If you're watching and listening, you can see it. Anyway, there is something cool about single pickup guitars. I think the people that love them would contend. Now, Dave, tell me if you agree, if you think this holds any water. The people that love them would contend that without the routing for the pickup, for a neck pickup, or I guess you could have a single pickup guitar on the neck position as well. So we can say without a routing for a second.
Do those
pickup,
really exist?
I have seen them. I have they did you
have
might see like jazz type guitars where they're only using the neck as a single pickup. I've seen those, but let's just say when you don't have a routing out of a guitar with two pickups, only one routing has happened for the one pickup, the wood kind of resonates in a different way, right? So the sound is different.
I've heard that argument.
Do you think that's true? I think it's true. So, it physically kind of holds water. I mean, think about it.
Okay, if you're gonna peel this down to the most simplest of arguments in a physics standpoint, then obviously there's something to be said. If the wood is whole,
exactly,
more whole,
that's what I'm
than
saying.
A 2 pickup guitar, then it's gonna be, the resonance is gonna be different. I don't know. Is that something you pick up? No pun intended. Is that something your ears really hear?
I don't know.
Certainly,
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't believe you would actually hear a difference. I really don't. So are you saying if you took a Les Paul Jr.
I have both.
For some reason,
I have very similar guitars, but one has two P90s and one has one P90.
Well, I'm not saying two different guitars. I'm saying if you took a Les Paul Jr. and then suddenly routed out a neck pickup, would the bridge pickup sound different? If you did a Jim Lill style kind of test,
well, no, I think
you'd actually see
difference. Well, I think the best way to do that is two same exact guitars, one with one pickup, another with two pickups. You just get a double pickup.
Well, that's
Junior or a single pickup Junior. Yeah, no, not the same exact. guitar.
But no. But what you're saying, but that doesn't that doesn't solve the problem that what you're talking about. It does having the other one carved out, because the other guitar, having the secondary guitar, that bridge pickup could sound different anyway, right? So
you'd have to have the same exact pickups.
You'd have to take a single, exactly same pickups, but I think you'd have to have the same guitar,
and
you'd have to take a single pickup guitar, route out for a neck pickup, and see if there was a difference.
And
I don't think you'd see a difference.
But if you had the same neck pickup in different guitars, one with two pickups, one with one, I think would you notice a difference? You're saying you wouldn't notice any difference there? I don't know. We're just speculating.
Not much. Certainly not in a mix. Certainly not in a recording.
Well, not in a mix and a recording. I think you're right about that too. But anyway, it's interesting.
So then what's the point?
Well, there's a coolness factor to it, and there's a less confusion factor to it. Right? When you don't have a pickup selector to mess around with, that's cool. You don't hit it by accident.
I'm not saying single pickup. Hold on. I'm not saying single pickup guitars aren't cool. I'm talking about what's the point of routing out another pickup. I think that I'm a big I love your Les Paul Jr. is very cool. I like Les Paul Jr.'s in general. I like the way they sound. I would love to own one. I'm looking for one right now.
Oh,
But
you are?
I think they totally serve a. You know what? You know what's a cool. Well, yeah, I always am.
You're looking for everything always.
You know what's a cool. What was that? What was that Joe Perry guitar with that?
Yeah.
Les Paul style.
Joe Perry's into single pickup guitars. He is. Yeah.
He totally is. Yeah.
It was a single pickup.
That was another one.
It was a single pickup, like a custom shop Les Paul single pickup with a Wilkinson trem on it.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's what he had.
Crazy ass looking guitar.
It was like a gold top too, right? Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. So Dave wants one of those, but it's probably like $10,000.
I think they are 10 grand. Yeah,
they didn't make them that often. Yeah, look it up. See if you can find one. Yeah, that was a wild guitar. Yeah. No, but single pickup guitars, there is a coolness to them, but I think there's also like a practicality to them because a lot of people, especially if you're playing straight ahead rock, pop punk, straight ahead rock, you're not really gonna head up into the neck territory anyway. And I've noticed that if you mess with the tone knob, if you're into tone knobs, you can kind of like emulate a neck pickup by using the tone knob on a Les Paul Jr. Somewhat. You're not going to get all the way there, but somewhat. If you really want,
it depends on what the job is, right? Too like a lot of times, if you're just going to lay on the bridge all night,
that's what I'm saying.
You can kind of play. Then you really don't need a double pickup guitar.
There's a lot of genres where a single pickup guitar is all you ever need. I mean,
like
look
pop
at
punk.
Look at Eddie Van Halen. You didn't hear me say pop. Oh, you were looking at Google. I said like pop punk. I said that.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give you. I'll give you the prices now on the Joe Perry.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
There's a listing here on Reverb. 14.5.
Holy crap!
And there's another Reverb listing for 19.75.
Oh my god.
You want me to keep going? Jesus, holy crap! Wow.
If you're lucky enough to pick up these like limited run artist signatures from the custom shop, if you got like 10, because when they come out, they're insanely expensive. But when you think about like, they're like maybe $10,000, like, if you got $10,000 lying around, it's actually not a terrible investment because, probably in like 5 years, you get twice as much money.
You'll make some money.
Yeah. It's crazy. I wouldn't buy guitars as an investment, and I'm not giving investment advice.
No. Yeah.
Play
the disclaimer.
Yeah, that's a disclaimer. But it is unbelievable how these high-end Gibson Custom Shop artist guitars just skyrocket through the roof, especially anything to do with Joe Perry. So, Dave, I think you should try to get your hand on a Joe Perry, the transparent black Joe Perry signature. You should try to get your hands on
I would love to. If I wasn't in the market for a standard, I really want to just have a standard. I want to have that. I love the first Les Paul I bought, that traditional. And I am going to sell it and get a standard for various reasons, but I don't want my only real great Les Paul to be the trans black. I love it. I would buy that as a second guitar.
Well, buy it as a second guitar. That's what I'm telling you to do. But
you have to talk to my wife.
Speaking of no. You need to talk to your wife.
No, you need to talk to my wife.
Why would I need to talk to your wife?
I get yelled at
when you're the one with like
because
a dozen.
I get yelled at.
Yeah, but you're the one with a dozen guitars behind you, man. Like how does
a dozen cheap guitars? Can we talk about some other?
So she doesn't care about. She cares about the price of the guitars, not that just have like 1 million of them. All right. Anyway, but I actually before we move on, I want to say something because we were just talking about Gibson Custom Shop. So I stopped by the Guitar Center tonight, the one in Boston, because I was in the damn office today.
That's a good one.
As I usually.
That's a good
on Thursdays. It's fantastic. Their platinum room's off the chain. It's so nice. Compared to it's not off the chain compared to like an awesome guitar store like Chicago Music Exchange, but it's off the chain for any Guitar Center within like 100 miles of us. so there's that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's that. And they had in stock a Gibson USA Adam Jones signature Les Paul, and this thing, let me tell you, in person, it kind of has like a sparkle to the silver burst. It looks really awesome in person, these guitars. Like I was kind of like blown away. I'm like, that looks I just wasn't expecting it to look as cool. Oh, and by the way, they also had a lot of the new Gibson standard colors that came up, like the ox blood and the blue, the Pelham blue, and what were the other colors that they had? The blueberry kind of one. Oh my God, they look fantastic in person, those colors.
Can I tell you, speaking of Adam Jones, speaking of Tool, and speaking of Guitar Center, wow, I hit all three. Last night I went into Guitar Center on the way home from work because I'm still trying to decide between a 50s and a 60s standard.
Oh, you went in there again?
Figure out what I want to just touch the necks. I want to touch the necks. Just
touch
caress
the neck.
them, feel them.
So hot.
Touch the necks.
Want to touch the neck.
And speaking of platinum rooms, I don't know if he was playing an Adam Jones signature. I didn't go in there and didn't look because it was getting very annoying. But all he was playing was Tool riffs.
That's awesome.
Which was kind of cool at first, but then it just kept on going. And one of the dudes came over who also works at a different Guitar Center, and I've seen up there. And he was telling the guy I was working with, this is the guy that comes up to the other store and all he does is come into the platinum room and play like a bunch of Tool riffs, and it's really annoying. So he never buys anything.
Wait, was he using an Adam Jones signature?
I don't know. I didn't go in there and see because we were kind of far away. But
was he playing this?
Actually, yes, he was. Pretty much. That's all he was playing. And it made me realize.
All right, anyway.
As much as we bash Guitar Center, how annoying it must be for Guitar Center employees to have the riffraff like us
literally
go into these places with no intention of buying anything.
Of course.
Just to play expensive guitar.
It's like every guitar store, man. It's like every guitar store.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go into like a Matt's Music and just like...
I'm sure people do.
They do, but we go in there and we chat and we have a good conversation about stuff, and they know that we're not necessarily in there to purchase something expensive, but we appreciate and we know guitars and we want to be part of the whole thing.
That's right.
Whereas Guitar Center is like, oh, that's an expensive guitar. I want to just go play it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of like cheating.
Yeah. I remember.
But anyway,
Dave, you might not remember this. There was one time when I was in the market, like, long time ago, like 20 blank years ago, I was in Guitar Center, and it was in Boston when it was at a different location, and I was looking at acoustics because I was going to buy like a really nice acoustic, and there was these these like college age kids in there, like around our age, and they were in there like just like playing these amazing acoustic songs like together in like the high end acoustic room, and they were like kicking ass, and they were playing like everything, and then they would go into like Foo Fighters acoustic. They would do all this. They were real. All these guys they were probably Berkeley guys. Now that I look back. And I remember a Guitar Center employee like came in there and yelled at him. He goes, "Are you guys going to buy these guitars today? Can I interest you in buying these guitars?" And they're like, no. And he's like, "Okay, well then you got to get out of here." He was like,
"So where is the rule?"
He was so mean to them.
Where is the rule that you can't not?
But that was the only. Well, they probably come in there every day, and he's sick and tired of them.
I know.
That's probably what
become
happened.
The world's biggest hypocrite here. Is there really a rule against that? I mean,
one
if you're
time
playing great music.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, go ahead, Dave.
But the guys over there playing the same riff. And
then
it's like, okay, buddy, dude, just stop.
And one day,
stop.
One day I was at the Guitar Center in Boston, and a bunch of Berkeley kids did come in. Like 3 or 4 Berkeley kids came in, and we're talking about the Berklee College of Music in Boston. And they were playing amps like in the main showroom way too loud. And the Guitar Center employee, like kind of knew him and was like, "Guys, you got to turn down the amps." And they're like, "Okay." And then one of the kids like 2 minutes later, one of the kids looks up and he goes, "Can we go in the platinum room?" And the guy goes, "Okay." It was like a dad. It was like a dad, like, "Okay." And they're like, oh, they're so excited. They're like, and they go in the platinum room, they close the door, and they're just jamming, having a great time in there. It was so funny. I'm like, you guys go to Berkeley. You guys have like all the beautiful practice rooms at Berkeley. Go there. But no, they wanted to like play all the new stuff, of course. So
yeah, because they're not going to buy it.
Yeah, they're not going to buy it.
Anyway. Speaking of new stuff, let's get into some gear.
You want to get into some gear? All right, fine.
There's a lot of good gear that let's
What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about. Can we talk about this Lzzy Hale signature Kramer
Yeah,
Voyager
yeah.
that
So
just
this
came
is
out?
interesting. So Gibson, kind of continuing to revive Kramer, and they
Yep.
did it. Did they do it with Dave Mustaine? Remind me. Did Mustaine release Kramer guitars yet or
This
no?
is a very good question. I
Oh,
don't know the
geez.
answer. I have no
Somebody,
idea.
somebody Google it. We need our researcher on standby to
Yeah,
do
we
this
need like a.
research.
We really do need to hire like a researcher on this show.
So I thought that they
That's
were.
why we need a
So
producer.
I thought that Dave Mustaine, they had plans to release some Dave Mustaine. I think they come out with like a Kramer signature V with Dave Mustaine or something. Anyway, um if they
No,
haven't
I
done
thought that
that,
came
I
out.
thought there
They
was
thought Gibson
plans to
just
do.
came out with a Gibson.
Maybe it was just Gibson. Maybe it was just Gibson.
Yeah.
But anyway, as part of the revival of the Kramer line, Lzzy Hale now has a signature Kramer kind of explorer type of guitar. And talk about it's called the Voyager,
It's a Voyager. Yeah.
which was a guitar that they had in the 80s, which if I'm not mistaken, was that the one that wasn't the one that Van Halen had for a little bit, was it? No, that's a different one. Or was it?
I don't looking at
We're
it. I
just
don't believe so, but
okay.
I am not the guy to ask.
Well, do you remember that um, Van Halen played like a Explorer type guitar for a while, and I don't not for a while, but at some point he did. I don't know what that guitar was called and what it was, but maybe I was just speculating it was a Voyager, but maybe not. But Dave, talk about this for a little bit. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, so it's like an let's see. I'm gonna pull up the specs here. It's let me just say this. I am not into these like obscure shaped guitars. I like an Explorer. I dig a V. You get into stuff like this and other obscure shapes, you'll lose me. And I'm just going to be honest with it. This is not my style. First of all, we love Hailstorm, but this is not a guitar that really attracts me.
Yep.
So it's like I don't even know how to describe it. If you don't know what this thing looks like, just
It's
go
like an
online and look.
Explorer type. It's like a kind of
Like an
wacky.
Explorer
It's like a
type.
wacky
Well, it's not an
Explorer.
Explorer. It doesn't look anything like an Explorer,
Oh,
though.
what's that style though? That like wacky offset style, right?
I
Pointy,
guess, but it doesn't really
pointy.
look. It's super. Picture a V, but the top part of the V, like the part closer to the part of the guitar closer to you, is like super long and stuck out, and
Yep.
the part lower, the lower part is short and stubby. In a way, I can't really describe it, but it's an alder body. Let's see, 3-piece maple neck. Bolt-on construction, and it's got a slim C-shaped 22 medium jumbo frets. It's a 25 and a half scale length. Yeah, I don't know if I dig the finish on there. I don't really.
So there's
I wanna like this because it's Lzzy Hale, but I just don't.
so there's all kinds of different versions of this kind of wacky shape, and there's like so the one that EVH played was is called the Star. That's the one that there's a current version that EVH is making now, and it just looks very similar. EVH, which is Fender is making now, and it just looks very similar to this type of shape that Kramer. So it must be like an '80s thing where they just like a bunch. I think Ibanez made a guitar called the Destroyer that is similar as well, and the Kramer kind of version of it is the Voyager. So please correct me, guys, if I'm way off on this, but it seems like that's what's going on. The Star guitar that I don't know the history of the EVH Star guitar, if it was an Ibanez Destroyer, if it was something different. So I don't know. So you can go and look up if you really want to learn about that. But there's like a long '80s history of this shape of guitar, and so it's kind of cool that Lzzy Hale is kind of bringing this back to Kramer to some extent. I think, Dave, even though it's not your thing. But what's the price on it?
No.
I think these are more affordable guitars, are they not?
Yeah, what's the price? They're coming in at $14.99.
Yeah,
So
I mean
it's very affordable
pretty
for
cool.
this
Yeah, yeah.
for for a custom guitar. Yeah,
and it's all
it's
so, did you? I wasn't listening completely because I was looking stuff up. Did you say that it's like a silver sparkle kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like it's like a silver sparkle kind of, which is not my thing.
It's so cool. It looks, but it is for our buddy, for our listener. It's a single pickup guitar. So there you go.
Yes.
And now that I've been looking at this stuff, like the Ibanez Destroy and the EVH Star, very different from this guitar. This guitar, I mean, the similar type of shape, but this guitar has much thinner points to it. Like the points on it, like aren't very like the.
You know what this thing looks like? I'm sorry,
skinnier. Yeah.
Remember the Jetsons?
Yeah,
this is like
it
if
looks
George
like a
Jetson played a guitar.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Jetsons.
I'm sorry,
guitar.
don't like it.
Is it Jetsons or is it more like
Star Trek?
Star Trek. Yeah. You know how Ryan Burke,
if Data played a guitar.
You know how Ryan Burke has the 60 cycle from 60 cycle, how he's got that like Star Trek guitar. You know what I'm talking about? What's that guitar called?
Yeah.
That one
I don't know.
Like the kind of like upside down thing. Anyway, it seems like it should go along with that. I agree with you, like a Star Trek thing. But I love
this thing.
Color.
Looks like this thing looks like somebody stepped on a starfish and then turned it into a guitar. I don't dig it.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that. I would take the EVH Star or the Ibanez Destroyer every day over this, just to be clear. But this is...
I would agree with that.
This is pretty cool.
I guess.
Voyager.
Don't dig it.
Now, is that... No,
but anyway...
now I'm curious, like, is this a new... This isn't a new shape, is it?
I think it's based on an old shape. I don't think
that's
it's
what
exactly this. Yeah, I think it's based on an old shape. I don't believe it's based on. I don't believe this exact. I don't think the shape specs are the exact specs of an old guitar.
Okay, so there are Kramer Voyagers, but they really. So I'm looking on Reverb right now. Kramer.
Yeah, they look different.
They look much different. They look more like the Ibanez Destroyer that I was talking about. Tracy Guns has a signature Gunstar Voyager from Kramer.
He plays it in the bathroom. It's great.
Is that a new guitar or is that an old guitar?
I don't know.
It's I think it's a new guitar. So Tracy Guns has this Gunstar Voyager. This is cool, Dave. This is actually So this is a new guitar you can buy now from Kramer, which is totally a different looking Voyager than the Lzzy Hale one. It's kind of cool, actually. It's got it's black with like gray smoke flames on it. Anyway, it's kind of cool. So check that out.
That could be cool. Yeah. Another thing that you might want to check out, and a listener brought this up to, well, we saw this come out, but somebody asked us to speak about this, is the Boss IR2 amp and cab pedal that came out. It's only $199, and you're getting a lot for your money in this thing, as far as I'm concerned. But it's just another, amp and cab in a box, right? So I don't know. What do you think of this thing? Did you go away? Where are you?
Yeah,
it is delayed again.
It looks good. Would you buy this, Dave?
I mean, for $200, I might just to kind of play around with it. Sure. I mean, it's got 11 amps in it, and
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? We're delayed. Can you hear me?
Did we disconnect? I think we are very delayed, and that's okay.
Yeah, well, you got
tech.
You disconnected. Now you're gone. Where are you?
Tech problems abound. I disconnected.
Where are you? Are you there?
I am here. So we are gonna cut the show. We're gonna end this now, and we are going to go over to patreon.com/Guitar Dads Podcast. If you want to go to the Patreon episode. If you want to check us out, go check us out at Guitar Dads Podcast on Instagram and on our private Facebook group. Come join all the fun. We've had a lot of fun talking to you guys.
I'm back. Can you?
Yeah.
Are you there? He's gone. He's gone. I lost him. He's back. Are you back?
What just happened?
I lost you completely. You just went away.
Let's just. All right. Let's. Should we end the episode?
Yeah. Can you hear me now, though?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Right, you just broke up on me, and then you were gone. So.
Well, let's take this thing over to Patreon.
Let's do it,
and we will continue. We will continue the gear talk over there. Sorry for all the tech difficulties tonight. We're not quite sure what the heck is going on. But yeah, if you want to check us out at Guitar Dads Podcast over on Facebook and Instagram, come join all the fun. And if you want to support the show, go over to patreon.com/Guitar Dads Podcast, where you, for a small amount of money, you can support the show each and every month. It really helps us go. And if you don't want to do the financial thing, we get it. We understand. We appreciate it. Go over to check us out at Guitar Dads Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. That will also help you support the show. And yeah, I think we got a lot more gear to talk about. But for now, that was this week's Guitar Dads Podcast.
That's it. Keep rock alive. Catch you on the flip.